Hello everyone, today we're going to be talking about a problem. This is quite a simple math problem, but it does require you to think a bit before you get started with it. So let's start with analyzing this problem. Now with this problem, the hard part about it is this plus 1 here, because we cannot find the square root of two numbers added together without first making it into getting some factors out of it. And of course, 1 only has 1 itself as its factor, so no matter how many 1s we take out, there's no point because it'll always end up as the same thing. So what we have to do with this number at the front here is make it into a number minus 1 to get rid of this unnecessary plus 1 over here. So the only way to get a number minus 1 with multiplication is by using difference of squares, like so, which gives us x squared minus 1. Now, let's try using the first 4 numbers here to get this, and the 13 as well, to get this difference of squares. Now, of course, this difference of squares, the difference between this number and this number here is, of course, 2, okay? So we can group them as so to get 10 times 13 equals 130, 11 times 12 equals 132, and that has difference of 2. Thus, 132 times 130 can be put back in here, where x would equal 131, and where we would get 131 plus 131 squared minus 1 minus 1 plus 1 square root. And of course, these get rid of each other, and we will be left with 131. So this is a very simple application of solving for a square root using this difference of squares concept, which is normally learned in secondary school. Now, this problem teaches us how to use difference of squares as an application. So the concept we used here is difference of squares. And this is, of course, used quite a lot in a few other problems, and it is used in many contest problems as well. So let me ask you all a question. Let's assume that we have function of x equals 1 over square root x plus 1 plus square root x. And it's asking you to solve for f1 plus f2 plus f3 all the way until you get to plus f100. Now you could also write this as nope, that's not how you write it. That. So how would we solve this? Well, I highly encourage you all to think about this problem before we go over it again in the next video. And as a quick hint, this problem uses the concepts we learned previously and also some other concepts that we will talk about next video. So I'll see you there.